Alright, so I'm going to teach y'all how to do some bends today. We've all been in guitar class and heard, or guitar center, or guitar class and heard this. We've all heard that. And they're not really wrong, it will just be. So you just have to know that when you're bending up, that's exactly what you're doing. Like, you just have to know that you're bending the note up, and you have to know where you're bending the note to. What I'd recommend doing is doing licks like this. And instead of sliding up, go. And something really cool to do too is after you bend the note, kind of keep bending it a little bit to keep the note alive. So it's still there. It's adding tension. What you're doing when you add a bend to your solo is you're adding tension to it. That's why I like to do them a lot. It's an interesting little flourish, really. It really is. Adding a bend to your solo has a lot of character, in my opinion. Also, I mean, you got pre-bends. And you got this kind of like David Gilmour, like wow, wow, wow. So what I'm going is going. So I'm bending up from the 8th fret to the 10th fret on the B string, so, and then to the 13th fret. And that's a really cool little thing to add to your solos too. So what the normal bend is a whole step bend. If you ever heard Sweet Melissa, so when it goes to the chorus, it goes. So that. That's just half a step. So it's all about placement. He just wanted to bend up to that flat fifth. So there's that, and you can also bend out of arpeggios like. So that's an A minor arpeggio. It's an A minor arpeggio, and then you just bend that note right here. It's on the 10th fret on the high E right here. So And then you bend at the 10th fret up to the 12th, like so. What I was doing before that was I was doing the minor arpeggio, right? And then it's been the 11th fret up to the 12th, so. That's a pretty cool, like, Martin Freeman sound. That was a bunch of nonsense, but so yeah, those are some bends for you. You also got the infamous unison bend, which is bending one note up to pitch to the same note that you're picking on the bottom string. So you got the 5th fret right here, you got the 8th fret right here. You bend up the 8th to the 10th on the B string, and it's the same note. So it's like. So you got right there. I'd also recommend like learning running scales like that. So you got you got A minor right there. So. That's a pretty good exercise to do. Also, with bends, you also got these things you can do. That's the Eddie Van Halen trick. You bend up the 7th fret and you tap the 12th. And you tap the 12 and the 10. It sounds pretty country if you ask me. And you also got the Ted Nugent. So you bend up, what you're doing is you're bending up the 10th fret on the B string. At the same time, you're kind of getting this like rockabilly, you know, the. An awesome sound if you already don't utilize that. That's the 7th fret on the G string and the 8th fret on the BNS. So you're bending up the 7th fret to the 9th fret, and you're still holding that 8. So. But just like being able to do that, you can bend this up. That's a little harder, honestly. So what you do is you bend on the 8th fret. While you're doing that, this finger right here is pushing up till it's at a point where it's on the G string, and you release. That's a really cool little lick. You can also do unison bends right here. So you're bending this the 5th fret, or actually no, you're just hitting the 5th fret. You're bending up the 7th fret to the 9th fret because it's the same note. So that's 2 unison bends you got right next to each other. that's pretty much it for my bending masterclass. Those are all the bends that I utilize. And really, I just want you to understand a bend is supposed to replace a slide. Like, where you're supposed to slide a note, you can just bend it. So if you ever slide, instead of sliding, try bending. And you'll notice that if you slide to the correct note, like a half a step, if that's the flat fifth in minor pentatonic, or you're sliding up a whole step, which is 2 notes apart, half step is 1, whole step is 2. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. And that kind of stuff gets very important. And there's also a lot more than that. There's major thirds, minor thirds, perfect fourth, perfect fifth. There are in-betweens. You have diminished, you have augmenteds, and then you got your minor 6, your major 6, your minor 7, your major 7. And you have in-betweens, and you have things that can be kind of like loopholes to all that too. They use a lot of them in gospel music. But I'm going to go ahead and call it. I hope that was useful. And this is going straight to my YouTube. I'm also going to put it on Facebook, and I'm going to put it on my theory page. Y'all have a great day.